Hello, beautiful humans. Saturday blessings. I'm back for another episode of Wandering and Pondering. Look at this big, sexy tree next to me. Whoa, it's so big, it doesn't even fit in the frame of my phone. I have been very busy this week. The reason why I didn't do this video sooner was because I am house sitting and cat sitting for the most beautiful princess ragdoll cat. So I had a change of location. I'm still in the Oxford area, another gorgeous tree, but different from where I live, so a little bit more distance away from the Witchwood forest. But I have discovered a very special and very exciting space today. I am in the C.S. Lewis Nature Reserve. So anyone who is a fantasy lover like me, and probably anyone from my generation and older, would be aware of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and the exciting stories of C.S. Lewis. So yeah, I'm in a woodland which was actually owned by C.S. Lewis, so I feel like walking around here where some of his stories were inspired by, and also where I live as well, in the Witchwood Forest, is where Tolkien lived too. So I'm very blessed to live in such a magical area where some of my favourite authors also lived and also tread. So it's like we are treading the same path. You can see me stepping. Also, I thrifted this awesome gypsy skirt today. So it's a beautiful day. I might lose my breath a bit as I'm just walking up these stairs. I think I'm going to pause this video until I get up so I can keep talking a bit more. I've made it up the steps now so I can talk without losing my breath. I've never ever been here before, so there's a huge chance that I will get lost. How exciting. I didn't realise it was so big. When I first walked in, it looked like it was just a small pond and a bush. And those of you who watched my last video, you will see how much I love blackberries. And I've only been walking here for about 10 minutes, and so far I have been feasting on English blackberries and Mirabelle plums, which are these little tiny plums which look just like cherries, but they taste like plums, and they're really juicy and really sweet. So this walk already has been such a treat. I love it when I go for a walk and I don't need to bring a picnic, because Mother Nature provides all the sweets. There's a few apple trees too, so I'm going to try and get a nice apple. I'm just going to show you this beautiful tree. I love it when the trees are joined together. Look at that. Such a gorgeous tree. And now that I've stopped here for a breath, the energy here in this forest is, I was going to say peaceful at first, but actually it feels really alive. It feels really, really vibrant. I'll just give you a little round view of what I can see at the moment, and the vastness of the forest. Still trying to catch my breath. That's a huge holly bush over there and some gorgeous trees, and it's just woodland all around. And I can't believe that I'm the only person here. It's living in such a touristy city as Oxford. Some of these amazing places, often at the weekends, can be really busy, but at the same time there are so many hidden gems and hidden woodlands to visit here that often you can come to them and they're completely empty. So now I feel like I've found a new space where I can come and sing, I can come and meditate, I can come and collect wood and bits and pieces for my crafting materials. Right, it's uphill again now. Here we go, trying to breathe. Wow, this tree looks like an elephant. I'm just going to show you. Hopefully I can get it in the frame. Looks like an elephant foot. I must admit, I'm a bit of a tree pervert. I've always said that about myself. Like, I could just walk around staring at trees all day and admiring them. We're a bit closer now, so I'm just going to show you. Doesn't that look like an elephant's foot? So cool. Beautiful, beautiful tree. And it's so tall as well. Let me try and get to the top. Reaches all the way up into the sky, into the stars, and it keeps splitting off into different trunks and branches. It's magnificent. There's definitely some different types of trees here in this forest that I'm going to have to look up and find out what they are. That's my new project at the moment. When I go to forests, finding out what all the trees are, so then I can greet them properly. Oh, so beautiful. So apart from walking in this new wood today, I wasn't actually planning on doing this video, but I realised that I hadn't done it yet this week, and I found myself resisting a little bit, to be completely honest with you, because I didn't know what to say. And I'm someone, I think it's hard to describe me until you know me as a friend. I would say I'm quite quiet. I'm generally quite reserved, but I have a quiet confidence, but I tend to use my words wisely. So even though a lot of the time I have a lot, look at that tree, I have a lot on my mind, and I have a lot on my heart, and I have very strong feelings about things, I don't find it hard to articulate, but I have learnt that it's not always necessary to speak what's on our heart, and it's not always necessary to share everything. Ooh, just going to show you this beautiful sea of ferns now behind me. This is the forest that just keeps on giving. So yeah, sometimes, and also I used to be a very sort of controlling person, controlling over myself, and again that was an old fear cycle of feeling like my life was completely out of control and feeling like everything that I said or did I would have to be very in control of. And now that I've broken that fear cycle, I am very, very much the opposite to that, and find that I'm just going to pick a plum. Let me show you. You'll have to excuse this conversation. It's going to be very fragmented because I am literally about to come on my bleed cycle. So my attention seems to be in a million places at once because I'm so hyper aware of everything all at once. But look, these are the Mirabelle plums I was talking about. And they just have a little stone in them. They're so good. So refreshing. They're not overly sweet either. So cute. What is better than walking round? Wow, look at this. What a view. What is better than walking around a forest and eating the divine blessing of the fruits of Mother Nature? This is going to be the most ridiculous video once I've posted it. Look at this. Got the orb of the sunlight up above. I had to just pause filming for a moment so I could stop and take some gorgeous photos. Yeah, I'm just here laughing at myself. With these wandering and pondering videos, I don't edit them, by the way. Sometimes I stop and start the videos and then I just merge them all together because I like to keep them as natural and as candid as possible. So you can just get a sense of my weird, wonderful whimsicalness There's a little sign over here. I'm going to follow it and see what it says. So anyway, what I was saying about that old fear cycle of feeling like I needed to control everything, because I felt like growing up my life was so controlled by the powers that be and parentals, and I felt very out of control. Oh, that's lovely. There's just a little sign up to say that there's glade areas that will increase numbers to provide food for birds, bats and other creatures. We love that. Yes, so my life was very, 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 very out of control. I was a wild child. So I sort of went to the other extreme of that, feeling like I had to control everything. And now I find that my greatest joy and my greatest power comes from in full surrender, when I don't plan anything and I just show up and I just flow with it. like today in this crazy candid style. Wow. Okay, so I've just come to the edge of the wood. Not really sure where to go now. I can climb down there. Wow, yeah, I need to get down there somehow. I'm going to find a way. So, yeah, I really didn't know what I was going to say today, and usually when I do these wandering and pondering videos, I've been really sort of thinking about things the past few days, and that flows quite beautifully into the conversation. But today I really didn't know what I was going to share, and I quite like the silliness that has ended up ensuing. But what I do feel like I want to share now is that there was that resistance there, and when I started giving light and space to that resistance, then the voice started coming in saying, well, what's the point? What's the point in talking if you haven't got anything to say? And that is a shadow. That is a shadow aspect or a remnants of a fear cycle that is not a part of me, that is not serving my highest good. So I recognize that, and the higher aspect of me, my higher self, my main character, said, no, that is not the voice that we choose to listen to. We're going to do it and show up anyway, because we know that the words will flow. And there is a huge amount of medicine in, got stuck to a blackberry bush, in feeling the fear and doing it anyway. There is a huge amount of medicine in, when you don't feel like doing something, doing it anyway. And obviously there can be a shadow to that, because we can overwork and overpush ourselves. You know, I'm not physically exerting myself, I'm not exhausting myself. Actually, doing this video and talking is getting me out of my head, which is becoming such a wonderful medicine, because when a woman is on her, or about to come on her menstrual cycle, often we can get all of these really, really strong intuitions that come in, and it can be really intense. Actually, it can be very much in the head. So this has helped me to just let some of that flow outwards. So yeah, feeling the fear and doing it anyway, but also just showing up and doing something when you're resisting it, because that is aligned action. That is energy in motion. That is showing the universal flow, the creative flow, the web of life that we choose to keep flowing, growing, evolving, that we do not choose the timelines of stuckness and stagnancy. Look at this. Doesn't that bit of tree look like a little turtle head? Hold on, let me try and get it. There. It's so cute. I'm finding my way down now, by the way, into that valley. This is such a magical wood. This is like a playground. There's so many different pathways to go down. I'm so happy that I came here. I didn't even know that I could park or anything, and I drove up, all free parking, super easy. And then yeah, it just looked like this old pond, and now it's like this mystical, magical fantasy playground. No wonder The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe was inspired by this place. Yeah, so I'm really happy that I've shared this, actually, because this might be one of my favourite videos now because of the candid and unexpected nature of it. And I'm working with quite a few beautiful souls one-to-one at the moment. I do ritualistic ceremonies and mentorships to help people to break free from fear cycles, as you know. But what's the purpose of this? So that they can move forward following their North Star, which is what I call the heart, the voice of the heart, and they can really become what their heart is calling them to, which we build a prison around our hearts through our lives for whatever reason, conditionings, traumas, fears, all of these things. So breaking free from that, and then getting the energy moving again in the direction that our heart wants us to go. But a lot of the resistance I'm experiencing with people that I work in at the moment is that they keep saying, yeah, I just don't feel like creating. And yes, this can be an energy block, so healings are necessary. But often, actually, we can't just heal ourselves better. Sometimes we just have to be human and get on with it. You know, if you have a plan to do a guided meditation recording, but you feel uninspired, why not just do a video about how you feel uninspired, and even speaking it out loud, how you are feeling. Remember, emotion is energy in motion. So you are speaking the emotion of how you're feeling. So therefore you are creating, and you are getting that energy moving, and you are releasing something that's stuck within you. I think we get so stuck in this perfectionist mode of having this rigid idea of, you know, I've set myself all of these goals and I've said I'm gonna do this and create this video, but I don't feel like it today, so I'm not going to do anything at all. Where actually, when we can completely like shake ourselves up like this and just be like, do you know what, I'm just going to create anything and see what happens. That is when some of the most magical things can be created. Let go of what anyone else is doing. We're never trying to create something up to someone else's standards. We only want to be following that North Star, led by our inner child. What would our inner child find the most fun, cool, what is the coolest thing that we thought of when we were children? That's the only person that we should be aiming to impress. And I think my inner child would be pretty impressed that I found this big mossy log in this incredible forest full of blackberries, apples and plums that I could eat. I think she would be pretty impressed, and I don't think she would care what I was talking about as long as I was having a good time. And I can promise you I'm having a great time. And on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'm going to turn off my phone and have some time alone in the forest. Sending you so much love. Speak soon.